So yeah, I don't really know where to start. I noticed a bunch of people were asking for just some a little behind the scenes into this process with the Alfa Romeo piece, and I wanted to share as much as I could. We really appreciate all the love and attention it's getting. It's awesome. We put a lot of time and a lot of graveyard shifts went into this. Learned a lot of failure, but overall it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I don't really have that much content of the making of it. I did do some screen recording in the beginning, so I guess I'll start this video with just time lapses of that, with just no talking. And it's not the whole process. It kind of is just building up to a certain level of the city and then kind of go into some rigging processes. So I'll let that go for a bit and you can just watch the city come to life. The city was built, with a massive collection of different items, from Kitbash 3D to some Turbo Squid elements, and just piece by piece, just mashing it all together, honestly, and also a bunch of mega scans, and just kind of kept building. Didn't really have a shot list, so it was just, I'm going to build a city and then I'm going to scout it and shoot the car. But if I were to do it again, I would definitely have a shot list first, because I overbuilt for sure. it was just a lot of trial and error as I built the city. Just dropping cameras in, messing with HDRIs and suns, and seeing what looks good and where we can place the car. I didn't have a shot list at all going into this, so it got a little messy. I definitely built way too much, but you learn that you don't need to build as large of a space. You really just want to dress for your camera, and I kind of didn't do that on this one. The rigging process was brutal, not gonna lie. At first, I thought I had the perfect idea. I was gonna be, rigging this car to a controller, driving it, and then using take recorder to record my path and then shoot that take with a new camera. But it just failed. It was really brutal. Lots of hours just laying on my floor in my living room, failing, trying to go into Blender, rig the car, get it into Unreal. Something would break, as you can see. I did end up getting it, funny enough, and right at the time I was getting connected with the team over at Impossible Objects, who are essentially the pioneers of everything cinematics with Unreal, and those guys in that team are just incredible, and I can't thank them enough for all the resources and tools that they kind of let me play with. They kind of just gave me the keys to the castle. And most importantly, right after I got done rigging and able to drive, they showed me their rig system that they have developed for cars. And moving forward, I didn't ever use that take recorder method after, 2 weeks of smashing my head on my desk. And it was cool to learn, but the control rig system is just incredible. I have some content of just a little before and after. We were working in lit mode the whole time and pushed out final path trace renders at 1024 samples, but we were working with an anamorphic camera that is an incredible tool, and I forget his name, but I'll link his product in the description. Absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it just kind of was a bit heavy for this project. It kind of doubled our render time, and with all the motion blur, it was kind of like we didn't really need it, but we kept pushing forward with it, and we ran into some issues. But these final renders were pushed out at 1024 samples at 1080p, just in our crunch of time. Many nights were spent going through the difference of lighting, using HDRIs or directional sun or a combo. The HDRI really illuminates the environment and captures so much light everywhere and bounces around, but then the directional light gives you so many pings and nice flares. So it was a big battle, but ended up using a nice little hybrid of both. I'll show you the forest map. My good friend Javi built this probably 8 times, built different forest roads as he was learning how to paint landscape, and it was crazy how fast he was learning. And the idea came to use the Alfa Romeo logo as our road design. I don't know if anyone caught that at the end, but he actually imported the logo and just traced it with the spline system, which was incredible to see take place. And after splining it, you have to turn it into a static mesh just by merging the splines, and that way you could use it in Path Tracer. The bridge that's featured is literally built brick by brick with mega scans. Not much else to say about it, but it's crazy. Shout outs to Javi for doing that. Looks gorgeous. And this wasn't planning on making this video, so apologize if it's kind of all over the place, but I think there's some cool content to show you guys, and hope you enjoyed some of it and some of it was useful. I'm going to try to do some more of these as we go, and if there's any specific features that you guys are curious about, I'm happy to try to get something going for you. Thanks.